So it changed me in this sense. Life means more to me. I like to lost it. So it's more valuable to me. And I know what it is to have health now. It's more valuable to me. And friendship means more to me. When I was sick, I found out that a lot of people love me. A whole lot.
Who'd you hear from?
Elizabeth Taylor, Michael Jackson, Prince, Bruce Springsteen, Sally Struthers, everybody in the business. Berry Gordy and his people, everybody that is somebody. Hundreds of bouquets of flowers, hundreds, almost 1 million cards. It made me realize that I was important to a lot of people. For the first time, that's the first time I've been sick in my life. And I really saw what could happen if you die, if you leave this world. I got a taste of it. And it just made me feel good. You know, black fans, white fans, they all got together and showed me love. And I awakened one night in my room, and a white guy was standing in my room just crying, named Ted McQuister. He was just crying. He said, "Oh, Richard, please don't leave us." Just weeping. And it did something. I said, "Oh, God, you got to let me live." I said, "Lord, I know all those people love me like that." I said, "Lord, I got to live because I got to talk to them. I got to hug their necks." Oh, my God. And my big toe shot up in my boot. I never forget it. It was beautiful. It was really good. I said, "Lord," I said, "this is wonderful." I said, "Oh, Michael," I said, "Oh, baby, he just loved me so much." He sent me this, "Michael, thank you so much, baby. I just love you. You're beautiful. And tell Catherine I love her, and Joe, and the sister, I love all of them. They were so sweet to me. I'll never forget it." And it just, Arthur Pollock was good to me. He was beautiful. He was a very dear friend when I was in the hospital. I love him for it. He was beautiful. And many, many people. I can't call all of their names, but I want to thank all of them for their prayers and their cards and their gifts, flowers, and their time.
How long were you in the hospital?
One month. Flat on my back, my leg in the air.
Did they allow you to have visitors during that period?
Oh, yes, I had visitors, but the security was very heavy. It was 24 hours a day in the room. They had them stand in the room with me. The bodyguard stayed right in the room. It was but it was beautiful. It was painful. In fact, I never knew that pain existed like that in the world. And if I hadn't have been a person that loved God already, that have sold out to him already, I would have been in trouble. I found out that it's good to know God. And I thought about how the angels were encamped around Moses and Lot and back in Abraham. And it just made me feel good. I knew that they were there with me to... Ooh! Did I? Sure did. It was good. Thank God.
What has been your reaction to the book now? Because as you said, you laid it out.
Oh, yes, I did.
No punches pulled.
Nothing. Didn't hide nothing. A donut.
What was the kind of feedback that you got, either from people that may have been mentioned in the book or just...
I got feedback from some of my family. They said, "You shouldn't have told all of it." They said, "Richard, you told everything." I said, "I didn't keep nothing but my hat, and I put it in the closet." I think that the world should know the truth. I see some entertainers, and I think it's terrible when an entertainer comes up and they say, first thing that they said that, there was a lady that put out a book not long ago. She's an old star. She put out a book, and she said she never had an argument with her husband. She was married to him for 40 years. And I knew she was lying. She never stumped her toe. She never burned a piece of toast. She never been to the toilet. She never fell out the bed. She never had a drink. She never had no water. I said, "What did you do? What have you been? Standing up?" And that's false. Most people want people to think that people don't buy books like that. People want to hear everything. I was an awful guy. Although I have changed now because God has done something in my life and he made me an evangelist. And I feel he sanctified my life. He saved my life. And I have a testimony. It took a miracle that he saved me a few weeks back. out of this accident. It was a miracle that he saved me a long time ago from cocaine. I was an addict, thousands of dollars a day with the pipe, and it's hard to get off the pipe.
You were basing on
I was basing and lazing too, both of them. Well, you could just call me the living flame. I was on fire day and night. Like the man went to see the church, the preacher said, "We haven't seen you around here before." He said, "This is the first time the church been on fire." So I was burning. But you know, God took me off of those things because, see, in my book I talk about masturbation because I had a masturbation habit. I told the truth about it. I said, if anybody masturbated more than me, they should have got a trophy. I told the truth about it. Most people like they never done it before and they lying. I told the truth. In fact, they should have changed my name from Little Richard to Little Masturbator because that's what I did. I mean, I did it day and night, lighter, storm, rain, sleet, snow. I had to go. I did. And God gave me the victory. And I had to be with some girls, and I enjoyed doing things that other people play like they didn't do. I was doing it, and admit that I was doing it, because I didn't have nothing to hide. Nothing. And so that's really what was happening in my life. And so with God doing that for me, it was really, really something. And I appreciate it. When God came into my life and converted me, I don't do it anymore, but I have. And I think that the truth should be in the book. It would help somebody that is down and need to get up.
I gathered from when you were talking before that you shot Miami Vice after the film. Is that correct? After Beverly Hills?
Yes, I did. I shot Miami Vice. I think I shot Miami Vice first, before the film.
Okay. Now tell us about your character.
In Miami Vice, what was my name? My name was Quinn, Marvell Quinn. Yeah, and I was a preacher on this hearse of flowers, roses all around it, and they had me to do this, and I was taking up collections with my little congregation there, and all these dope pushers all around my pulpit. And I thought they was trying to get the fill of Reverend Ike one time there. How Reverend Ike take up all these offerings and don't give the people nothing. And talk about how, talking about money, and how Reverend Ike makes $94 million a year. Reverend Ike, I'm not talking about you because you're my good friend. He's my good buddy, you know. I loaned him some money one time. He never paid me back. Reverend Ike, pay me, please, so I can give the money to the poor. I'm talking about myself, Reverend Ike. Yes, but the head producer of Miami Vice is one of my good friends, and she put me in that because she said she wanted the world to see me. And in fact, I had a lot of friends. The same thing Paul Mazursky did with me, down and out in Beverly Hills. I have a lot of friends that I really don't like the way I was treated in the past and how I didn't get paid. And a lot of them are really trying to do different things, and I appreciate it. And I'm very grateful, and they're really showing a lot of love, and I'm thankful. There are some good people in the world, and I'm glad that everybody's not bad, you know, and that they have really. The people that don't owe me anything has been showing me and giving me everything, and they're making up for a lot of things that did happen wrong to me, and I'm grateful that I'm alive to witness these things.
Well, I think that'll about do it.
Thank you.
We could go for days, but
And nights, and evenings, and a few mornings.
Before we tie up, though, if we could ask you to do a couple of IBs on the West One Radio Network.
Okay.
You got them scripted out, okay?
Okay, I may have to put on my. Oh, you got it big for me. You realize that the old eyes may give in. Yes, you did. I can tell how you wrote it. He wrote it small like he would write it. He wrote it small like he would write it for Paul Michael, and you wrote it big like he was writing it for George Burns.
I just like to
No, it's beautiful the way you wrote it. You did the truth, though. I couldn't see it. If you hadn't wrote it like this, I would put on my glasses. Oh, they look like shades, but they're not.
Okay, well, you should be right up on that.
Okay. Hi, this is Little Richard. Stay tuned for Earth News Radio, next on the Westwood One Radio Network.
There's another.
Hi, this is Little Richard, and you're listening to the Westwood One Radio Network.
Okay, we should do one for special edition.
Okay.
That's the one on the bottom.
I put on my shades.
And feel free to throw an ooh my soul in there. If you're so inspired.
Special edition with Sid McCoy.
Special edition with Sid McCoy.
Next on the rest. Okay. Woo! Hi, this is Little Richard. Stay tuned for special edition with the... Oh, my God. Woo! Hi, this is Little Richard. Stay tuned for special edition with Sid McCoy next on the Westwood One Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Richard, did you ever play the Apollo?
Yes, I did.
When? Do you recall?
In 1956.
Any particular memories surface from?
Yes, Mom's Mabley. Mom's Mabley. I never forget her. About number 12 shoe and no teeth. And back there beating everybody, gambling, playing cards and beating big old hands. And back there talking about, hi, Richard, I'm so glad that you came to see me. If you had to came to see me, I wouldn't have saw you. And she was something, boy. And I heard her back there telling Count Basie, I just love young men. County, Mom love young men. I just love them. If anything I like more than young men, is more young men. That was a crazy lady. She was beautiful. And then I enjoyed working with Guitar Slim, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, the Flamingos, and the fellow that started me in show business and fame was Lloyd Price. I enjoyed him because he's the fellow that caused me to be famous today, because by him, he had outlawed Miss Claudia and came to my hometown. He had a black and gold Fleetwood from Hollywood, and I wanted a Cadillac. And I told him, I said, I can beat you singing. And he called me up to the room, and he had me to send a tape to Specialty Records, to Art Roop. And that's the way it started for me. And he was really the cause for me. So I enjoyed working with all those people like B.B. King. And see, James Brown, I already knew him because I'm the one I discovered him in Toccoa, Georgia. He was in prison. And I went there to sing, and I wasn't even famous, and he came to hear me. They let all the prisoners come to hear me, and he was one of them. He in the Flames, Bobby Britt and all of them. And that's where he was discovered, through me.
Did you work with all of those people at the Apollo at one corner?
Yes, yeah. Everybody but James. He would never work with me after I discovered him. He was always jealous after that. He had a little streak of envy against me, because everybody used to talk about my skin and my complexion, and he didn't like that. I'm not calling him ugly because that's not right. And he's not ugly. He's ugly.
With a capital G.
James, I don't mean no harm. He's beautiful. James, you're beautiful. I'm not going to lie. You're not beautiful, but you're my friend. You're a beautiful person, though, but I'm not going to lie. But I love you, James. When either one of us won no beauty contest, James, you know that. You won't get no trophy, and I won't either. So don't get mad with me. You better get glad, because if it weren't for me, I'm the one that found you. You remember in Toccoa, Georgia? You would still be in Toccoa. Don't forget Toccoa, James. You can go back there easily. I'll send you back. I just said that, James. I don't mean no harm. I'm going to try to help you go to heaven.
Boy, he's hot right now.
Oh, yes, but...
America.
Oh, yes. I don't think he's no harder than I would be when my record be released.
So we're looking forward to it.
I think that when my record come out, I believe it'll go up fast. Don't you?
I certainly hope so.
I know so. I talked to a little birdie, they told me. They flew in my wonder and flew back out, and I said, take the news. They said, I will.
Let me ask you one more question before we wrap. The Hall of Fame, involvement in that, what that's all about.
Well, I talked to Bob from Electra Records, and he was just saying that the board of the record industry got together, and they had 150 names, he says, and they brought it down to 10 names, and I was included in the 10 for the Hall of Fame, including with Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly and Jerry Lee Lewis and James Brown and Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley and Fats Domino and many, Sam Cooke, I think. And he was just telling me that it was an honor for them to put me into the Hall of Fame because, and they wanted me to be there. And they had Holland & Oates that was going to introduce the award to James Brown. And they have a special guest to present it to me. They didn't tell me who it was. It was somebody special that don't usually make appearances. I was thinking about Michael. And they had Quincy Jones is going to be there and introduce the award to Ray Charles. And they wanted me to, he asked me would I fly there on the 23rd. He said, Richard, please fly here.
The 23rd of this month.
Yes, Ahmed Erdogan and Nessler Erdogan wanted me to fly because they're old friends of mine. For Jerry Wexler, where I used to live at his house in Miami Beach. And they are all my old friends want me to fly there. And they said they have something special for me to show their appreciation of the music and the creativity that came from me way back a long time ago when the ball first started bouncing, before they had a ball to bounce. And I told them that I was going to keep the ball, but they could still bounce. No, I didn't. I just said that, Jerry. God bless your life.
Now, this is going to air after that, so if maybe you could tell us, what it feels like to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, it's a good feeling. I'm already in the Hall of Fame with God. He put my name in the Book of Life a good while back. Thank you, Lord. And I'm glad that the earthly people on this planet finally thought enough of me to put mine in there while I'm still alive. Most people, Elvis got his, he's gone. And most people get their roses when they can't smell them. I like to smell roses. I love roses. Please let me smell mine now. Because when you're gone, you can't smell them. Planting all these flowers on your grave and they're growing everywhere and you don't even know they're up there, So let me see the roses. And let me feel some of the money so I can buy my own flowers. I may want a rose garden instead of a bunch. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? It's wonderful.
I think that was a big thing that readers of the book could get out of it. Was how you could avoid getting that far off the track through your experience.
Yes, I think that what is truly happening is that some of the people don't admit that what they had done like I did. I think that people appreciate you when you tell the truth, as I told. It make the people because most people have those habits. I don't know many people that don't have them. Like a lady said, Richard said, do you know anything much about straight people? I said, I've been looking for them for 40 years. Show me where they live at. I can't find the houses. Maybe it's too dark when I was looking. Shine the light brighter. Where do they stay? Have they moved? I don't know any people like that. I mean, I'm very truthful. Who's straight? Well, what is straight? What you call straight? I don't know what does the word really mean. And so I'm just truthful. And I think that being for real like I have been have kept me through these generations. I've been here a long time, and God has been good to me. I'll be 54 this year, and the Lord has been very grateful, has been very generous to me, and I'm very appreciative of his goodness and very thankful. And I want to declare to the world his goodness because he has been a good God, and I'm really thankful for it. He's been good to me spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially because without money you can't make it. And it makes life a little easier to occupy until whatever going to happen happens. You know, you can say, well, I have. If you don't know more, I have. And I did.
What's the latest on the conflict with specialty?
You know,
Are you still picketing?
no, I dropped the lawsuits. I dropped them because after I got into the hospital, I had time to reflect back on my whole entire life. And I knew I wasn't going to ever get anything. And I said, well, I'll leave it into the hand of the Lord. I dropped my lawsuits, but they didn't drop theirs. And I was suing them, but I dropped mine against ATV, against Specialty Records, against Venice Music, and Art Group. But they are still pushing theirs. In fact, we have to go to court on the 23rd where they're pushing their lawsuit.
What are they suing you?
They're suing me, yeah, for things, which I think is very unfair. I dropped my suit. I was suing them where they owed me, and they didn't pay me. They owe me. And I dropped the suit, and they suing me.
What are they suing you for?
It's a kind of suit, and they didn't drop it. Because he wants to be right in front of his friends and his people. I'm sure that he wants to look like he's a righteous person, but and that he don't really owe me, which is not true. He does owe me. He haven't paid me, and I reckon he feared that I get on television and said they don't owe me. But I was standing on the counter suit the rest of my life. I'm not going to drop that. I will hold the counter suit. And I will not drop it because he does owe me, and I did drop the suits. But I'm going to have to get a lawyer to countersuit. And in fact, he can't just sue me without a lawyer like that, you know. And I will stand up against that because it's not fair. And now one lawyer that I dismissed, because I dismissed him, he's trying to say that I was hard to get along with and I was hard to get in touch with, which is not true. He don't like because I dismissed him. I dismissed him because he wanted to be my manager. Every lawyer I meet, I have to dismiss mostly lately because they want to be your manager. They don't want to be, they see money. They want to be your manager, and when I let them go, they lie and they try to put your name out as a bad person because they can control you. I had the same problem with some public relation people, and they were supposed to be just doing public relation. Next thing you know, they want to be managers. You know, and they get mad. Next thing you know, I had a guy to call me today, going to call me about a movie from Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson told him to call me about doing my life story. I said, Michael wouldn't tell you to call me. If he's going to do a story, he's do it himself. He wouldn't put you there. But he wanted me to commit myself on the phone. Then he'd go back and tell Michael that he got me. He thought I said, no. And he think I'm illiterate. I'm not illiterate. I'm very wise to the cause, and I rise to the occasion when time comes. and he says, ignorant is blessed, but stupidity is out. So he says, he told me, he says, well, Richard, he says, Michael told me to call you. I said, you're alive. He said, well, Michael told me to be in charge of this. I said, no, he didn't. I said, how could he tell you that when they are handling me? He says, yeah, I said, well, you should know. You said they sent you. Then I screamed, whoop. I said, bye-bye. No, I said, bye, blam. I just said, bloop, blam. That's what I did loud. I stopped it.